Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In today's video we have something very exciting. We're going to be showcasing Splash, who is a guildmate of mine, his team that he used for the King Croaker Dream 1 boss to get 43 billion damage, which is an insane score. Even if we compare it to other people in the district who also have Fresto, no one has gotten above 40 billion damage so far. And my team was a Rainier team without Fresto because I don't have Fresto on my account, but 38 billion I consider to be a pretty strong score for the King Croaker boss. And to have 43 billion, it just blew my score out of the water. So he has shared a screenshot of the team lineup. We're going to take a look at that, and he's also shared a replay of one of the matches against King Croaker boss so we can actually watch the team in action. But let's take a look at the formation first. So, what we can tell is the forms of debuff are going to be Thorin and Rainier, primarily, because Thorin is going to increase the damage the boss receives by 17%, Rainier will increase it by 25%, and this is from all sources, physical and magical. Odie is going to be the dedicated damage dealer here, which is pretty interesting because usually in endless modes, the true damage dealers Merrily and Corn shine, but King Croaker is a mode where Odie does pretty well. It usually even ties the damage of Merrily. And I actually am using OD in my team that got over 38 billion damage. And then we have Smokey, of course, for his Mythic Plus, he will deal more damage to the boss, but also the attack and haste buff is very important. And especially when you have multiple, like you have a summon here, they're all going to be buffed up with the attack and haste buff of Smokey, so it gets even more value than when you only have 5 heroes total here. Interestingly, he's gone for Thorin Soul Pact with the Fresto, and I think this is going to be a positioning thing. But also, when Fresto gets the attack buff, I'm not sure exactly how it works if that attack buff is shared with the illusion, but it does say that all illusions of Fresto will have the same stats as Fresto himself, identical. And that is the thing. Now, the final thing, which you're going to tell by the exclusive equipment upgrading. Fresto is at plus 15, he's actually at plus 25 exclusive equipment, or plus 20, right? Not 25. But plus 15 is when you're going to unlock level 4 of his Mythic Plus ability. That will mean when his first illusion dies and goes down, he will respawn another illusion to carry on for the rest of the fight. And that second illusion, which will spawn, will have 60% of Fresto's maximum HP, but it will have the same damage and stats as far as I can tell from the skill description. So it's still going to be getting off massive damage. So you can tell from the ray projecting from the King Croaker boss that the first hero he's going to be targeting is your illusion of the Fresto here. And that means the insta-kill, the first one, is going to go off on this Fresto illusion. And this is a good thing because we're already going to respawn our illusion because we have the level 4 of our exclusive equipment. So this will mean that then Thorin will not be killed throughout the fight, like he will be insta-killed, but he will survive throughout the entire fight and keep being able to get off his damage reflection. And also, when your illusion dies for the first time, Fresto deals a massive nuke of 700% damage to the enemy target, so that is the other advantage of that. And also, Fresto gains energy. One of his skills is that he gains energy when his illusion takes 10% of health. And so if it takes a whole 100% nuke of his illusion's health, that's going to give Fresto a massive surge in energy, which is good. And so that's pretty much what we have to talk about here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the replay and continue to discuss this further. Okay. Here's a damage chart in case I forget at the end. The sources of damage primarily is Odie, but then you have 3 major forms of damage: Thorin, Smokey, and Fresto, with Fresto dealing the most damage. Let's take a look at the team in action and let's set it to 1x speed. Okay, so they all are going to the front line. Odie is getting off his damage in the back. Smokey is going to be giving attack buff and haste buff to everyone within his aura. The only Crimson Contract, which we didn't mention, the main Crimson Contract from the main form of Fresto is not being given to anyone because he's in the back line. But the illusion is giving the Crimson Contract to Rainier to reduce the damage Rainier takes by I think 14%, but that will not come into play here because, as you can see, the boss will prioritize his water bombs onto the frontline heroes. The King Croaker boss attacks with his water bombs the most grouped up, the highest number of heroes, and if there's the same number in front and back, he will prioritize the front. And because we have 3 heroes in the back, 3 heroes in the front, he will keep water bombing the front, which is the other advantage here. Which is good for us because whenever the illusion takes damage, then our main Fresto is getting energy restored to him. The other really amazing thing about Fresto and King Croaker especially is that, so King Croaker's whole mechanic is that he restores 60 energy per second throughout the entire fight in order to get to maximum energy, and then he has this magic barrier which blocks like 90% at maximum level of the damage taken until that is burst through. But Fresto has a way of reducing the haste of his target with his paralyzing strike, and both him and his illusion can apply that to the boss, reducing the haste of the boss and also reducing the vitality of the boss. Vitality affects shielding and healing, which I don't think this magic barrier counts as a shield. I'm pretty sure it doesn't, because it's just a flat damage reduction, but the haste definitely will contribute. It will allow you to deal more damage because the boss will not be regenerating the barrier as quickly as possible. At least I believe that's how it works. And either way, Fresto and his illusion do get off a lot of damage throughout the course of the fight. And they provide the Thorn protection, because the first illusion is going to take the first insta-kill, and Thorn is surviving the second 2 insta-kills because of his soul pact. He has a 3rd life. And there we go, that is the final how the team works in action. Let's go ahead and take a look at the damage chart and just discuss this a bit more. Yeah, I mean, if you're not running Fresto here, then Thorin would die at the end of the fight after the 3rd insta-kill. And so that would reduce Thorin's damage source somewhat. Because if you do have the ability of reducing the haste of the King Croaker boss, it isn't clear whether the energy generation of the King Croaker boss can be reduced through a reduction in haste through the skills of Fresto. But if that is the case, then that would be a way of ramping up your damage too, because then the boss will not be able to regenerate his magic barrier as quickly, and that's how you get off your damage. Your damage comes to a stop almost when he has his magic barrier up, and you hardly deal anything. So his Mythic Plus level 4 will have the new illusion spawning in front of himself, inheriting 60% of Fresto's maximum HP, but that's even actually better than inheriting less or more than that, because it means he will take a higher percentage of his health when he's hit by the water bomb, and that is going to give more energy generation to the Fresto himself, the main version. And also massive skill damage when the illusion dies for the first time, so that's a 700% damage nuke from the Fresto when the first illusion died. He has magical damage, and this is why we're running Thorin and Rainier both. Both of them are going to be ways of increasing the damage the boss receives from all sources, both physical and magical. And if we take a look at the hero focus, he gains 25 energy when one of the, so if the illusion loses 10% health, main Fresto will gain 25 energy and vice versa as well, and that's why consistently taking the water bombs in the front is going to allow him to gain more energy regeneration and cast his ultimate more. His active ultimate is going to be a damage burst skill that deals at maximum 360% plus whatever ultimate power you have from the mythical charms. And both him and his illusion are going to be casting this, and both him and his illusion have the same damage output. And this is why Fresto is so amazing, because you basically have a summon of himself, both dealing damage and both having whatever utility is in his kit. And here we have the Crimson Contract, which we didn't really come much into play in this fight. And the active form is launching the 3 strikes, and this is just for damage. Both him and his illusion are going to be dealing this bonus damage, or this active form of Crimson Contract damage. Vicious Sting is the thing which I find the most interesting, because it deals damage per second proportionate to the enemy's HP, but it will be capped at 40% of Fresto's attack. But it is a source of damage, and it provides the paralyzing venom, which will reduce the haste by 30 and vitality by 45. So that's what I was talking about with this boss. If this haste reduction causes slower energy generation of the boss's magic barrier, then that is going to be a major way of outputting more damage in this King Croaker boss, because all your damage comes from, or 90% of your damage comes from, before the magic barrier is activated. And that is pretty much it for Fresto in this team. And if you want some replacements, if you don't have Fresto, I will just briefly cover that. Although I have made a lot of videos on both the top tier Rainier Mythic Plus teams that you can run and the non-Rainier, if you don't have Rainier at all at Mythic Plus, then what teams you can run. So this was a team I used to get my highest score, which was 38.3 billion. And I also tried it with Corrin, and they almost exactly tied. This got 38.2 billion. Both teams are at the top tier. OD deals a lot of damage in King Croaker, but Corrin and Merrily kind of tie the damage too. So all three are good damage options. It's just about which one you want to run on your account, which ones you have at Mythic Plus. And Evocation Spell is needed for King Croaker. Even in the Fresto team, he was running Evocation Spell Splash, and we also run Evocation Spell because otherwise you die too quickly if you have any other artifacts. So go for Evocation Spell. If you don't have Rainier at Mythic Plus, Coco can be a good option if you're running OD, because then you have the Mauler factional bonus. She shields your team, protects your team. Damage staggering is a really good option. If you're going to try to run Corrin, then you can run Corrin Merrily, and you can run Lucius. This is a very good team as well. Lucius will provide more survivability with the shielding, and also his seasonal skill is very important. Increases the haste and damage of your team if they're all surviving at a specific point in time, like 10 seconds or 40 seconds into the battle. If you don't have many heroes at Mythic Plus, let's say you have really low Ascension and you're like early game, then you can run a team of heroes which do well with low Ascension. Something like this. And even put Thorin in the front. You need to run Thorin here because he is the way of countering the insta-kills. Here you have damage staggering from the Coco, and you have healing from the Smoky, and then you have good damage sources even without Ascension. OD and Cecia get off quite a bit of damage without Ascension. Kruger is also an option of a hero you can run here, and you can experiment, but that's pretty much it for the brief summary of teams you can run in the King Croaker boss. We have plenty of videos going in depth and trying all of those teams, so this was really just a showcase of the top level Fresto team, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought about it in the comment section down below, and big thank you to Splash for sharing this replay with us and the screenshot so that we could cover this team, because these are really interesting things to know. And I would really like to do this for all of the different Dream Realm bosses, because even if we don't have Fresto, it can give us an idea of what is our end goal or what we can be shooting for, and it can give us more information whether we want to try to go for Fresto or save our Gil coins and our Stargazing tickets for something else. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe because I upload daily AFK journey videos to the channel with updates and guides to help your progression and keep you up to date with the latest going on in AFK journey. But thank you for watching. I will hopefully see you guys in the next video, and until then, everyone, peace out for now.